everybody, back in the boat again this morning and back to working on this bulkhead across here. So I've got Joel mixing this marine epoxy right now, and I'm gonna embed it down in there instead of like thickened resin epoxy. I said I'm gonna use this marine epoxy. They use it on boats here everywhere, and it's some really good stuff. And I'm gonna set it in here, and he's gonna have to mix batches at a time. He had no clue what he's getting into. I'm asking Joel to help me, by the way. And we'll start letting it run on down in there. What we were using before to make that thinner and have a longer work time was just putting alcohol in it, denatured alcohol. I actually want this kind of runny today because I want it to get down low into those places in there and be able to kind of self-fill in some voids and things like that. So we add a little bit of alcohol again to thin. That gives us a little bit more work time here too before it starts kind of thickening up. All right, so we're gonna start working this in. You grab that in. Now grab the PVC, yeah. All right, now hold on. It's a little tricky because we gotta start it in right there. Let it down into that groove. There you go. Let it on down more. And I've got to get it. There's a lip right in there. Got to push it into that groove. See it coming out. There we go. There we go. And then I need to take a hammer and a wood block. I'm gonna tap this on in, and we'll come back to this in just a bit. But it's coming on in there. It looks great. So I just tap that one down in with a hammer, and all the excess oozed out. And now we're taking that excess and filling up the next groove here that I've got this piece made for. I put a wood block. I've got a big piece laying right there, but I need an extension on it, and we covered it with resin and drove it up in the hole because there is a groove right up in there for a wood block to go. And we'll get all that, and then we'll screw and join these pieces together. I just feel this is gonna be such a huge improvement for this boat. It's almost like I'm building a new boat, you know, but if I'm gonna build a new boat, I'm gonna build it the style and the way that I want. One of the things I'm going to address, I'll show y'all later, is this cooler. I've got some wood underneath it right now, and it's sitting on this cushion, but I don't want to leave it up here, of course. All right, so now let's do one more mix, and we're going to really thin it down, so we're going to spread it on that foam. Yep. Well, look at me, I'm brown and red. It's so steamy down in here, you know. It is, and got me a little fan here going, but I tell you, it's just not enough right now. Very steamy day after it coming out bright sunshine, after it raining so hard yesterday evening and until late last night. I'm so happy for this progress. So here we go. We've got the new PVC foam across that's going to use as a filler in the bulkhead. And we got this piece in right here, down the side here. We got this top one in. I took that wood, we coated that wood in epoxy, and we got screws shot into the wood like here and here. And so I pulled the wood as up high to this one as I could and let the screw seat, and then we put those, and then we really pressed and hammered this in really good with a wood block. Squeezed a lot of epoxy out the sides. We recovered it as we did, and so we got clamps and doubled them up in some places so it spread the load out more with scraps of wood, little blocks, and got it clamped really good right now. It's really clean underneath the tank, and it can breathe, so that's nice. It's not going to be sitting on stuff that's going to, you know, make a caustic or corrode the tank through or anything. So that's another nice thing of doing all this and cleaned it up. And it's nice how Sea Ray made this tank so easily removable. That's a plus they did. You know, I say some negative things they did, but they also did some nice pluses too. And that's nice, because I've had some boats that the tanks were just, you had to literally cut the boat apart to change the tank and do major work. I bought a boat before that they were selling it just because the tank had a hole in it that they were rebuilding inside like this, and this guy was taking those big old long 3-inch vinyl coated deck screws, screwing wood in together inside the cabin of a boat, and he shot a long ass screw all the way right into the fuel tank. Man. So this don't have foam blown around it, styrofoam or blow-in foam like a lot of them are doing. It's bonded in. You got to really get in there and cut it out and work your ass off to get it out of a cabin boat. So they made that back wall back there is it's kind of like a firewall between the engine and the cabin there. They made it unscrewable. Well, it's just after lunchtime now. Joel just got back. He's gonna start mixing up, filling some gaps over here, and I'm gonna prepare for the next piece that we're gonna put in. And I've been trying to follow up on my captain's chair and swivel pedestal. They've been sitting at customs for, I think today's 7 days, and the company that I bought them from are not responding. Now, the company shipped it, made it to customs, but did they do the customs payment? Because it says that that's supposed to be handled by the shipper, not by me. Unless they're arguing because maybe customs hit them some ridiculous fee above what they claim, but they're not responding. So it's not actual delivery date yet though, so I can't complain. Right now I just keep an eye on it and see what happens, and I can't move forward with anything or say nothing till then. But it's just kind of crazy that it's been in the country for 7 days now and hasn't moved forward. Unless they just didn't update and it's just going to show up here at my door. I've had that to happen. Well, the work continues again right here in the floor here. Y'all might have seen in the video there was a dark spot. I had poured a little resin on there before to keep more water from going in. I kind of sealed the edge, but I knew it was rotten in there. Now, honestly, I felt that this whole area right here that I cut out, I felt may be rotten, but I got into it and it was actually one small area here. So this wood core was still good. What we're doing is I'm cutting these panels and we're gonna laminate these in using this PVC again. I didn't even dry fitted that one. Yep, works pretty good. I gotta cut another one here. I just made me a pattern for it. Another step moving forward. We didn't record it, but we epoxied in a panel there and there on each side of that keel, that center beam down through there. Whew, getting this epoxy all over me. I got some on my leg too, see here. And see, I got on the back of my arm. And then we cut this piece and laminate it new over the whole thing. And then we've got another piece right here that it's going to go all the way up to the front right there, no gap, and it'll come back here. And then we'll bevel those edges, and then lastly I'll come in with some light fiberglass, probably that woven, and just a light ounce, and glass over it. I'll probably maybe do 2 layers or something on it. So I guess what we need to do is put a little bit right up in that front, across up there. Yeah, right down in that crevice. Take that last little bit you have. We can backfill it too, but we'll go ahead and get some now. Woohoo! Got that, man. I'm gonna be so happy for this solid floor. Man, it's gonna be winter chicken dinner. So we got this down. It's gonna be really nice and solid now. He's mixing up again to leave this thick. He'll start working this edges. He's gonna fill up any little gaps around, and we're gonna taper it so that when I glass it, it'll already have a little filling around the edges. Hey, the work continues on. So I went underneath the staircase outside right here, the outdoor staircase, and I scavenged up some wood that I kept out inside the boat over here where the galley used to be. And let me show you a little bit of what I'm doing with it. It's really cool. So this is an old piece right here off of that old galley that came all out, made this huge angle for my plan of putting this cooler, like I told earlier, which is 28 by 18. And I saw, I put it across back here in the back. 18 doesn't come out super far, and that's the way the lids opens in the front right here, and reading the menu there on it and all, which is showing the display, which is showing it's a menu too, because you got choices in there to make. So that would work perfect. You can open it up right here in the front. And being that big hump's up right there, I said, well, if I lift it up some, instead of it being down low, you can just literally open it right here at height where you're standing, really nice, and reach in there and not bend or anything. And I said, oh, that would be perfect, have storage underneath there. So that's what I'm going with here now, is doing that. So then when I was scavenging, I found this piece, and it too has a contour that fits pretty good with the boat back here. I mean, it does. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close, you see. Woo! I've been working on this boat all day long, in and out, not like punching the clock, for the full 8 hours or anything like that. But so I'm gonna raise this cushion up, and I'm gonna show you down in here. So made a new piece down in here today. Turned a little light on. Look at that, man. It's all up in there. And it sandwiched through all the way to this other piece right up here. And I'm still working on it, but this was some of the old pieces of wood, big, went all the way out and around countertop they had. That was, man, that thing, goodness, it was like 3 foot deep or more, like 38 inches on one side. I'm still working on. There'll be a piece of wood to go across the front, and this will all be trimmed. It's in progress. This door used to be on the end and stood up down there, up and down, way back over. You see that black wire over there. I am gonna try to get some new trim to go around this, that plastic molding. If y'all can tell me what that name is, it'll help me look it up. That molding that has a groove around the wood and you tap it in there. There's a specific name. Maybe one of you craftsmen watching or something can tell me that name. So I'm gonna look up some of that and order it and put new around that door. But I took the door and repurposed all of this wood and made this where it lays down. Put it down so it relaxes right here. You're not trying to raise it up and look underneath it or anything. Just let it relax. And you can look in there. Now you have a storage inside in here. Man, that is so cool. I'm so happy for it. So you got your little storage deep back in there. And that's handy to have. It's down low. So got that. Making this end piece, I'm working on it right now. I just attached this one on earlier and cut this corner piece, and now I'll be making a piece go all the way across this front. So we're going from this to this. Isn't that nice? So same thing, I still got a piece of wood that'll come across front. I'm gonna leave it high on the edge here. You need to get the sticker off here too. I'm gonna leave it high on the edge, of course, from things falling off. This will get trim capped. There will be a cabinet front built, and it's gonna come up here the same even, so stuff don't come off the front and go across right here. And I left a gap for that material to go in right there. This will get a cabinet front on it, and it'll have some amazing storage that I'm going to build into down here. But I think I'm going to build a set of drawers. Just organizing stuff in drawers is just almost just irreplaceable. And then I'll have a big area over to the side also to store stuff in. And I can even reach around behind the drawers and put, you know, something not, you don't want to put too much weight and get too much, you don't want to put too much weight and get it, you know, get carried away with, you know, cubby holing a whole bunch of heavy stuff in. But it's still nice to have places to put your stuff away, you know, and keep it nice looking and clean. So it's pretty exciting. And then back here where you see the little stove at, that is actually going to get a little back across up here that's going to come across, and that's going to make a pocket to set stuff into that's going to keep it from, you know, flying everywhere and all. So there will be like a little bit of a storage back there. I'm debating if I'm going to make a shelf in it and it have, you know, 2 layers, or like the back one a little bit, you know, further back, the front one out some, or something where you can set stuff in back there for cooking or whatever, you know. You got little cubbies for that too. Right now I got a lot of stuff thrown down in the sink for stuff I'm working on, but this is a camp cook set that's great for this boat because it's multiple pieces put together, and I do use this on this boat. So, and I use the little butane stove here, and I've got some extra canisters of stuff up over in the corner. If I wanted to bounce around here in the islands, Mel and I, after this house project's done and we get, you know, staff in order and everything here, of course, this is going to be like our rolling hotel on the water of wherever we may go. We might go on land and stay at a resort, but we may stay in the boat. And while you're just in travel on the water, you know, it's nice to have cold drinks and, or, you know, cook a meal while we're underway or something like that. Or if we're on mooring or on anchor, possibly even, you know, up in a slip or something, you know. Well, it's still nice to have your stuff and to be able to cook something. It's nice to go out too, but it's also nice just to cook something, especially if you're trying to meet certain dietary things and all, you know, that you're really going to splurge on that if you just go eat in an eatery every day or a restaurant. So that's the dealio with that. TV, aft cabin. It's going to be a nice comfortable bed down there. It's spacious. Table right here where I'm sitting at. You got the galley here. Mel and I, pretty much her and I, we'll probably take one of her brothers. Not the same one probably every time we make a venture. We might see if one can go and another one can go, and they man the boat while we're, you know, going about on the island, unless it's something really secure, and we'll take the brother with us. We got an extra hand on board, you know, boat hand. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a boat hand, like a first mate, you know, captain and first mate. Thank you again, Vince, for this cap. So that's the deal. I just hadn't worried about it too much because I've had a lot of building projects here, but I see the future of that being able to be done, and I really want this boat on the water. I feel that I could probably use it pretty much year round. Once you hit the water, you can watch the weather. You can take safe harbor somewhere. I'm learning and creating a list of where all those safe zones are in the Philippines, and I'm still learning about new ones. And so you want to plan, you know, your schedule to get to that waypoint, and, you know, and take safe harbor, and then if a storm comes in, just stay there. If it, you know, a storm comes in, it takes it, you know, 3 days to pass through, or 4 days, you know, chill there 3 or 4 days. If the boat's safe on anchor, go on land, you know, get a room or something so you're not. So yeah, that is the plan.
You seem to know something I don't. What's going and scars.